The first time I ever came out to GLAMIS was with this Sandrail right back here. This is a Tatum Black Widow, a twin turbocharged LS. It actually had an LS7 in it. Now it's got a built engine. And recently we found out that whoever put the sticker on here, they lied. At the end of the season not too long ago, this engine actually blew up, the LS7 that was in it. It did common LS7 things, which is it cracked the cylinder wall, which I found out was, like, a lot of LS7s had that problem, even stock ones, non-turbocharged ones in Corvettes and stuff. When my old man bought this Sandrail, he was told that it used to be owned by Bryce Menzies, which is true, but he was also told it had like 1,300 horsepower because of that sticker that's on it. Well, when the engine blew and we took it to an engine builder to have him build the engine, we found out that there's no way it could have made it anywhere close to that power. Aside from the fact that the LS7 was all stock minus a set of head studs, the other telltale sign was once we started looking at the fuel system, we looked at the injectors, and these are only 750cc injectors, which is nowhere close to being able to make over 1,000 horsepower. Plus, it's a batch fire setup, so the ECU is ran in this. It's an older ECU setup that's really common for Sandrails called a MEFI, or a MEFI 4, and that only has 2 banks of injectors. So even with the 750cc injectors, there's no way that it could have been close to 1,000 horsepower, because with batch fire, you have to fire 4 injectors at the same time, and you just can't hold the injectors open long enough to be able to get enough fuel to make that much. So after the engine blew up, my dad went and bought a different Sandrail, which you've seen in some of my other videos, and my brother bought this from him. My brother had the engine built, and now it should be capable of 1,400 horsepower once the fuel system gets updated and there's a new ECU setup. So this trip is on a more conservative tune. We're still breaking the new engine, and it should make about 800 horsepower still, so it's still a good amount of power, but not as much as it will be capable of once we get the updates done. But even with only making 800 horsepower, this is still an extremely fast Sandrail. It's set up very, very well. Inside of the rail, we've got a race pack, digital dash, we've got a GPS system right over there, and this also has a sequential transmission, the same Albin's transmission that we run in the other car that's 1,700 horsepower, and this one also has turning brakes. This is something that the other high-power car doesn't have, but they're really helpful when you're tuning, because that way if you're turning and you're making a quick turn, you can grab, say, like the left brake. This will lock up the left rear and allow you to turn. Or you can lock up the right rear by grabbing the right one. This is my brother's car. He'll be driving, I'll be riding along, and we'll see how it goes, and maybe he'll let me drive it for a little bit today. We'll find out. Stopped at the Osborne Lookout here, so you can see back there, that's where we're just at in the dunes, and this is a nice spot to just stop and hang out for a little bit, take a break. There's some bathrooms, there's some parking up here. This is a paved area, so you can drive up here with your truck. That's a pretty nice nice spot to stop and hang out. You can see the highway over there, and then just a massive expanse of dunes here. And that one right over there where you see people parked, that really tall peak, that is Sunset Peak or Sunset Point, I think. It's like the tallest dune out here, so a lot of people gather there at sunset. It's a really nice spot to stop and watch the sunset and all that. So for this car just being on kind of like a, not like a break-in tune, but like an easy tune considering the limitations of the fuel system, I think this hauls pretty good. It has no problems doing wheelies. It was pretty freaking exciting, like no problems. Little whoop, give it too much throttle, it's up in the air. really come in handy because you can quickly whip left and right using the turning brake in between these bushes and everything. Ah, that's steep. We're gonna do some duning. It heads to Oldsmobile Hill, which I think Oldsmobile Hill. I think that's the big hill over here on the GLAMIS side of the dunes. those bowls were super duper rutted out, so we're just gonna take the road on back. There's a road that goes out to Oldsmobile, so we're gonna take the road and kind of chill out a little bit so we can go back and refuel. We're back at the trucks and trailers, add a little bit of fuel, and then I started looking at these and I was thinking Sandrails are a little funny with their fuel system. So like on race cars of similar build caliber, you're gonna have a fuel cell that's got, you know, an external casing, it's got an internal bladder, it's got baffling, and well, Sandrails really just use like these aluminum can kind of fuel tanks. This one might be a little bit better, but a lot of them are just an aluminum box, you fill up, and that's it. We're full on fuel. The side-by-side is going through fuel a lot faster than we are. We only had to add 5 gallons right at 100%, and he was at like half a tank when we were at Oldsmobile Hills, so yeah. After those pretty poor and rough, tight, twisty, rutted out bowls, we're gonna go do a little bit more duning before we go grab lunch. It's really nice over here on the GLAMIS side. They actually have a bunch of like food vendors, so we're gonna do some duning and then we'll go get some food. I tapped my balls with the camera handle. We're over here parked, ready to get our lunch. This is the vendor area over on the GLAMIS side. So you got, you know, pizza and shaved ice and clothes and stuff and whatever in there. There's a bunch of vendors that sell clothes and flags. And then we've got, today we're getting Daddy's famous food here. Go stand in line and get something to eat. I already ate my burger, but we still got a quesadilla we're chowing down on while we refuel the car a little bit here. She's thirsty. So we can get ready to go back out. day is going by like super fast. I feel like we just got here, but it's already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're just doing a day trip, so probably do maybe 1 or 2 more rides before I load up and go home. I don't know. The cars I'm running is really good for this being a, like I said before, like it's being a pretty conservative tune. It feels really good. No problems doing any wheelies or anything like that. It pops them up right in the air, no problem. We did notice one thing though. The tuner had mentioned that this wastegate was sticking. And so when we come back and we idle it, you put your hand here and you can feel it sticking open. Like a sticking open wastegate will actually dump exhaust out when it's not supposed to. So every now and then we stop and there's definitely exhaust coming out, but other times you put your hand there, it's just fine. So luckily it's only sticking open, it's not sticking closed. But that's it. So probably need to rebuild or replace that wastegate. This one's still good, but these are kind of older Turbonetics, turbos and wastegates. I'm not sure if they can be rebuilt. You can find parts for them or find replacements. Might have to upgrade to something else, I'm not sure. Oops, we spilled some gas. Tactical. It's my turn to drive now. So we're gonna go over to the hill, and then I don't know what we're doing after that, but I gotta drive a bit now. I have a lot less experience than my brother, so I am much more timid in my driving, and this was actually the very first time that I was leading somebody else. Typically I'm in the middle or the back of the pack, just following along, and that's what I prefer to do. But I wanted some experience leading, and so my brother was actually talking to me on the headset, telling me, okay, watch for these things, like look at the tracks, watch how the sand has moved, and kind of give me some pointers, things that I didn't know. So it was a really cool experience. It just, I was very slow. Did get us to where we're wanting to go, but we had some really nice flowy dunes there, and we ended up at the sunset point or sunset dune, whatever. And this is pretty cool being able to see, you know, everything from here, because this is the tallest point across all the dunes here. Since I got us lost, my brother decided to take over driving and try and get us where we wanted to go, and then right as soon as he starts driving, the GoPro died. Since I kept getting us lost, we swapped seats and my brother picked up driving, which was awesome. He's a great driver, but I don't normally ride shotgun for this long, and it's like a roller coaster, except you can't see the rails. So my stomach is not feeling super great. Luckily, we decided to stop and pull over so I can sit and relax. I've been eating some peppermint and things to try and settle my stomach, but whew, this has been a long day. A lot of riding, a little bit of driving, and I think I've about reached my limit here. Just look at this.
That wasn't.
While I'm waiting for my tummy to feel better, my brother's gonna go do some little run around here because we've got some pretty good bowls right next to us. Of course, this is when I should have my nice camera, but I decided to leave it at the truck last time because I didn't really use it. So you get cell phone footage. Wheelie! Wheelie! Pretty good. The GoPro battery died and I didn't have a spare with me, so it is what it is. But we're back. We're starting to load up here. Beautiful sunset here at the dunes. My stomach is definitely not happy with me, so we're just gonna finish loading up and go home. Make sure to check out my channel for other sweet dune videos and other vehicular adventures like drifting and stuff like that. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Man, my nephew fell asleep on the ride back and I'm jealous. I wish I could fall asleep because my stomach is still not happy at all.